El Salvador defies U.S. extradition request. The Abrego Garcia case explained, El Salvador has reportedly refused a U.S. request to extradite Abrego Garcia. But who is he, and why does this matter? Let's break it down. Abrego Garcia is a high-profile figure with alleged ties to organized crime. The U.S. has sought his extradition for years. The U.S. government claims Garcia is involved in drug trafficking and money laundering. But El Salvador's stance has surprised many. El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele has taken a hardline approach to crime. Yet, his government refused this extradition. Why? Some speculate it's a political move. Bukele may be asserting sovereignty or negotiating behind the scenes. Others believe Garcia has valuable information that El Salvador wants to keep within its borders. The U.S. has not yet responded publicly. But tensions between the two nations could rise. This case highlights the complexities of international law and diplomacy. Will the U.S. push harder or let it go? For now, Garcia remains in El Salvador. But this story is far from over. Stay tuned for updates. Americans sum up Trump's term in O&E word shocking poll results. How would you describe Donald Trump's presidency in just one word? A new ABC News poll reveals what Americans really think. The poll asked thousands of Americans to sum up Trump's term so far with a single word. The results: absolutely polarizing. The top responses: words like chaotic, successful, divisive, and unpredictable dominated the poll. Supporters praised Trump's economic policies and strong leadership, calling his term historic and bold. Critics, however, used words like disastrous and corrupt, pointing to controversies and impeachment trials. The divide wasn't just political, it was also generational. Younger voters leaned negative, while older voters were more supportive. Even the media's coverage played a role. Some called it unfair, while others said it was necessary accountability. So, what does this poll tell us? Trump's presidency remains one of the most divisive in modern history. But here's the real question. How would you describe Trump's term in one word? Drop your answer in the comments! Judge defies Trump administration. Colombia activist freed from deportation. A federal judge just made a bold move, freeing a Colombia student activist the Trump administration wanted to deport. Let's break it down. The student, a vocal activist, faced deportation under Trump's hardline immigration policies. But the judge saw things differently. The ruling is a major setback for the Trump administration's crackdown on student activists. The judge cited lack of evidence and potential First Amendment violations in the case. This isn't the first time courts have pushed back against Trump's immigration agenda. The students' lawyers argued the deportation was politically motivated due to their activism. Supporters celebrated outside the courthouse, calling this a win for free speech. The administration could still appeal, setting up another legal battle. This case highlights the ongoing tension between immigration enforcement and civil liberties. What do you think about this ruling? Should student activists face deportation? Comment below! Supreme Court leans toward allowing religious charter schools. What it means? The Supreme Court is considering a landmark case that could reshape education in America. Here's what's at stake. The case involves Oklahoma's push for a religious charter school, testing the boundaries of church and state. During recent hearings, several justices appeared sympathetic to the school's arguments. This could set a precedent for taxpayer funding of religious education across the country. Supporters argue parents deserve more choices in their children's education. Opponents warn this could undermine public education and religious freedom. The case revisits decades of legal battles over religion in schools. Legal experts are divided on how the court might rule in this closely watched case. A decision favoring the school could trigger similar cases nationwide. The ruling, expected by June, could be one of the court's most significant this term. Whatever the outcome, this case will shape the future of education and religious liberty in America. The shocking truth behind Kilmar Abrego Garcia's tattoos. Trump's MS-13 claim debunked. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a viral conspiracy. Kilmar Abrego Garcia's tattoos and Trump's explosive MS-13 claims. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Salvadoran immigrant, became a political lightning rod after Trump claimed his tattoos proved MS-13 ties. But here's the twist. Experts say the tattoos were doctored. Forensic analysts found inconsistencies in the images Trump shared. So why would Trump push this narrative? Critics argue it's part of a broader anti-immigration strategy. MS-13, a notorious gang, has been a frequent target of Trump's rhetoric. But linking Garcia without proof, that's dangerous. Garcia's lawyers say he's a victim of misinformation. His real tattoos, they tell a very different story. Social media exploded with debates. Some believe Trump, while others call it a smear campaign. Fact-checkers stepped in. Major outlets, including Forbes, confirmed the images were altered. This isn't the first time doctored evidence has been used politically. Remember the deepfake era. Garcia's case raises big questions. How far can misinformation go? And who's holding the powerful accountable? What do YOU think? Was this a deliberate lie or a mistake? Drop your thoughts below. Thanks for watching! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more breaking news deep dives. Trump's first 100 days tariffs, egg prices, and ICE arrests, the data breakdown. Donald Trump's first 100 days back in office have been packed with policy changes and controversies. Let's break down the key data points. One of Trump's first moves was imposing new tariffs on imports. Here's how it's impacting trade and consumer prices. Egg prices have skyrocketed under the new policies. This chart shows the dramatic increase compared to previous years. ICE arrests have surged by 40% in the first 100 days. These numbers reveal the administration's immigration priorities. Trump's approval rating sits at 48%, higher than expected, but with deep partisan divides. Here's how it breaks down. The stock market has reacted positively to some policies, but negatively to others. These are the key sectors affected. Unemployment numbers show modest improvement, but wage growth remains stagnant. Here's what the data reveals. Foreign relations have seen both breakthroughs and setbacks. These charts track key diplomatic developments. Healthcare changes have impacted millions. This data shows who's benefiting and who's losing coverage. Looking ahead, these are the key issues that will define Trump's next 100 days in office. What do you think about these first 100 days? Let us know in the comments below! U.S. and Ukraine minerals deal at risk. Inside the last-minute disagreement, a major minerals deal between the U.S. and Ukraine is now in jeopardy due to a last-minute disagreement. Sources reveal that the disagreement centers around key terms in the agreement. This deal was supposed to strengthen Ukraine's economy and secure U.S. access to critical minerals. But now, both sides are scrambling to resolve the issue before the deadline. Experts say this could impact global supply chains and geopolitical relations. The U.S. has been pushing for more favorable terms, while Ukraine seeks to protect its interests. If the deal falls through, both countries may need to look elsewhere for partnerships. The stakes are high, and the world is watching closely. Will they reach a compromise, or is this deal doomed? Stay tuned as we continue to follow this developing story.